It's electric football. We didn't know whether we should kneel, link arms. We don't know what we're supposed. We didn't choreograph the start.
I thought it was formal. I got all dressed up.
Stu did. So, any of you remember Tim?
Hi, guys.
The big man in the back.
Hello,
And
universe.
the man's wife is responsible for this gorgeous jacket.
Yeah, just no open
Pretty.
flames near that,
So
people.
thank you, Jennifer.
Polyester, that's her name.
Bears, Packers. Stu, go ahead. Shoot.
All right. Bears win a thriller in overtime with Jordan Howard, who I decided to sit on the sidelines of my fantasy league because he was listed as questionable. Glennon was a good game manager. Packers, meanwhile, struggled and were losing to Cincinnati for a lot of the game. So what does this mean? Nothing. It's a divisional game, and this comes down to defense. Can the Pack stop the run, and can the Bears stop the pass? Neither is clear to me, so I'm going to take the home team and Aaron Rodgers to win another one here.
Tim?
Well, it's an NFC game. All those two teams are someone the Patriots can't beat in the Super Bowl, so I don't want to talk about them.
Okay.
Packers at home again. Stewart's little, two at home sort of theory that he espouses. Same thing. I feel the same way. They just need to stuff the run. I feel they're going to be able to do it. I take the Pack.
Yeah, I think Glenn had 100 yards passing.
Saints at Dolphins. Stu.
London, 9:30 a.m. Make sure you wake up to witness this train wreck. Cutler's looking pedestrian. Our whole team looks like garbage. Our offensive line is like a sieve. You can put pasta in it, and all the water will drain out, and you'll be left with some nice al dente pasta. Saints, meanwhile, are the pass-happy team of which we can't stop. I mean, we had freaking McCown had a career day against the Miami Dolphins. It seems that's what happens to the Jets, and I call it every year. Luckily, they're playing at breakfast time. I won't be drunk, but I am going to take the Saints, even with Timmons coming back.
Tim.
Well, it's England, so they've never seen a dolphin. They're not indigenous. And if you've ever seen the movies done by Mel Gibson in England, neither are Saints. I think what you're going to see here is a whole lot of Bloody Marys, a little bit of football, and a bunch of commercials for Jaguars.
I'm not even going to see the football. You couldn't find that game.
You
It was
gotta have Yahoo.
streaming on Yahoo. Are
Yahoo?
you kidding me? I got to work to find football
Got
now.
a
Yahoo's for
Roku
Dolphin fans.
Roku box, baby.
I'm flipping around and I'm going, holy crap! This thing's streaming. I don't know what kind of ratings that did. It was a crap game to begin with. It turned into a blowout.
Blowout, yeah.
But I can't imagine Yahoo was like there was money well spent. Anyway, Saints outgun the Dolphins. Gaze is already gazing at Cutler, going, "What the hell did I do this for?" Titans at Texans, and this is the game of the week, folks.
Really?
In my opinion, yes.
All right.
Two very strong teams, both on the rise. Deshaun Watson, Clemson championship-winning quarterback, is showing.
True, he's a good QB.
He's showing some early signs of being a good pro. J.J. Watt without a sack so far.
There's more than one reason for that.
Yeah, well, aside from the fact that
More
his
than one sack.
back is falling apart. Having said all that, I've been riding the Titans this year. I like what they've done. I like the team that they've formed, and it is a team, a well-balanced team, and I'm taking the Texans, baby.
Yeah, me too. Old Houston versus new Houston. Titans finally get their ground game going. But Brady, the Texans had Brady in the grips of their hands, and, he was up to his usual heroics, so surprise on that. Titans D isn't scaring anybody, but then again, neither is the Texans. But the gut feeling is Houston rallies and shuts down the Titans' run game. I am taking the new Houston.
I don't think the Texans are going to be anywhere near as good as they were last week. Their hearts are broken. The game was only close because of that fluke 22-yard touchdown when they somehow got the ball away from the Patriots. It never would have been so close that he had to win it with 23 seconds left. With that guy making that circus catch and springboard jump, with his 2 feet planted just so perfectly. I think the Titans are a team on the rise, and I think they're gonna surprise everybody, especially Houston.
All right then.
Jags at Jets. Jaguars, what the hell? I mean, don't even look at last week's episode. Nobody did, but if you are one of those 7 people that
said
did,
you made one.
yeah,
I did.
click on the link, damn it.
I didn't open the email.
Click on the link.
Oh,
Comment.
Is that how it works?
Anyway, Jags at Jets. I don't think the swamps of New Jersey really revitalized the Jets. I don't think they're a very talented team. I think they caught the Dolphins on just a very off week. I think the Jaguars have a lot more young talent. I don't believe they're as good as they appeared to be in London, but I believe they're good enough to beat the Jets.
I think they come crashing down and the Jets win a weird one.
Well, I think the Jets are going to disappoint their fans yet again. They're 1-2 right now, which means Jet fans say, "This is our year." You know, they're usually okay until week 8, and then they all just jump off.
Hello, Minnesota.
Yeah, but I think the Jags, they're so bad, they couldn't get worse. So I think they're going to tie.
Okay,
we
have the first tie pick.
Calling for a tie.
Well, since both teams can't lose, they should tie.
Panthers at Patriots, and as soon as you're done drinking there, big man, why don't you take
Why
your
don't you
team?
take
All right,
Patriots,
I don't know these guys. I know some of the names. Some of the guys I know aren't acting like the guys I knew. I'm confused. We're 1-2.
As we are.
It's a miracle. You know, it really is a miracle that they're 1-2. I can only say they're going to win because I'm a Patriots fan. I don't even play fantasy football. You know, I root for one team, and I always think they're going to win. Do I have any evidence? Well, it is the Panthers. You know, there's that.
I don't see the Panthers going to Foxborough and beating Brady and Belichick here. Carolina isn't killing anybody when they're playing them. And, you know, you're really going to take the Panthers in Foxborough? Pats will somehow find a way to stifle Cam.
I'm with you. I keep waiting for the Panthers to get back to what they once were, and it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And
Nope.
it's weird because they didn't really have a whole lot of personnel loss. I don't know how to explain that fall off, but it seems you kept waiting for, okay, it was an anomaly. Now it's not an anomaly anymore.
It's sort of like they look like a 500 team now.
If he can say indigenous, I can say anomaly.
Oh, and I could say poison the clubhouse, and I won't mention who, but it
So Patriots,
play of gluten.
Patriots until Gronk and Brady go on the
Into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
Or
They're on the IR. Why? Because they retired.
there we go. Lions at Vikings, and I'll take this one. What the hell is wrong with the NFL Network? Why won't you show our freaking highlights when we actually win a game? What the hell? I saw your highlights like 15 times. I saw yours like 4. I'm sitting there watching the NFL Network going, are they contractually not allowed to show Viking highlights?
We had no highlights.
Yeah, it's true. You had lowlights.
Exactly.
But we won. And Case Keenum looked great. Dalvin Cook looked great. Diggs looked great. You know, everything clicked. So I take back all my Case Keenum, jokes, and I'm going to go with this week. And by the way, Everson Griffin is going to lead the NFL in sacks this year. Mark it down. One of you two, Ben.
Oh, if only anyone was watching and marked it down. This is for first place. Flip a coin in this game for me. The Vikings surprised me last weekend. They went from a team that didn't look like they could do anything without Bradford to a team that just, exploded here. And the Lions lost a heartbreaker.
They got screwed.
Yeah, I'm going to take the home team here, though. But to me, it's a 50-50 pick. I'm taking the home team.
We're not sure of the call we just made, so we're not going to let you get another play.
Yeah.
Go figure. Tim.
I think the Lions are going to come out like a lion that just got, either declawed or spayed. The first thing it sees, it's going to fuck up. And unfortunately for the Vikings, they're the ones in the gate. So after that ugly, horrible mistake of an ending, I think the Vikings they're gonna have to get back in their ship and row on home. I think the Lions are gonna be pissed and they're out for blood.
The Lions pick of the week.
I'm picking the Lions.
All right.
Uncle Warren! Warren Strong!
I usually pick the Christians versus the Lions, so
You're such a mercenary.
we're probably in trouble.
Oh, man.
Bills
Thank
at
you,
Falcons.
Caesar.
And, it's weird, but the Falcons aren't far from being like 1-2. They're one of the 2 undefeated teams so far this year, but they haven't won in impressive fashion. But they can outgun, outrun, and outpass the Bills. I'm taking the Falcons' home field advantage and superior firepower on offense.
Well, in a world where the Bills beat the Broncos, and I called it, by the way, nothing is normal.
The only one we might have called.
It could be. It might be the only one I got right. Falcons' offense is still potent, and while I think Buffalo's D will keep it close, I really don't think they can stop the running and the passing of the Atlanta Falcons. The Broncos seemed to be one-dimensional last week. The Falcons are not that. I take it a close game. I take the Falcons.
I don't know. The Falcons, they're surprising. They're playing really good 75% of the time, and then that last quarter, they just can't do shit. I think what you're going to see is the Bills come out. Tyrod Taylor, he's due for a better game. I think he's going to do better than Matty Ice, and that's all there is to it.
It's a surprise that they won to me, but it just seemed like one of those games.
Got a funny feeling about this one.
Steelers at Ravens. You ever see, what was it, Rocky 2, where they both go down and they're struggling to get up off the mat?
Burgess Memories is screaming at the top of his lungs.
Get up, you guinea bastard!
This is my last movie.
Which I probably should not yell in the Cosmo Club. But
None of us are Italian.
I think the Steelers are the ones that are going to get off the deck here. It's a surprisingly, if you got Le'Veon Bell in your fantasy league, you're like, what the hell is going on? But I'm taking the Steelers once again, well-balanced attack, more firepower, and I think a little less cohesion if you see the one of the teams really struggling with how to deal with the Colin Kaepernick fallout. It's weird that the most influential guy in the NFL right now is Colin Kaepernick, who is not even playing.
I could be more influential.
Seriously, the NFL should just put out a thing that says, like most normal, good human beings, we're against, police brutality and racism. Can we all just agree that those are bad things and play the stupid games?
Mm-hmm.
They should say, like, any player that doesn't agree with that, please, you kneel. And everybody else that has normal views and does not, is not pro-police brutality or racism,
Yeah, but this almost went away, and then President Orange Crush brought it back. I mean, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. Puerto Rico is underwater, and you're tweeting every 4 fucking hours about the NFL. You fat fucking moron. Save these people.
I thought everything was underwater.
Sorry.
Houston could use some help. Yeah, he's going to get over there around Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, and survey Melania's ass.
He's going to work his way over there.
The beach is all fucked up.
If we're going to go political, he's really just playing what he thinks will get him ratings. He's really not helping the country unite. He's playing, oh, look, I got some traction with this NFL thing. I'm going to do the NFL thing. It's nuts. Tim, go.
Two nations under
All right, I guess since we're talking politics, can we just stop talking about the NFL and start ignoring North Korea, Puerto Rico, the environment, and Canada like we have been for too many fucking years?
So are you taking North Korea or the Ravens to win this game?
Well, as much as I like North Korea, I like them less than the Ravens. But, they're on a par with the Steelers. I hate the Steelers, bunch of pricks. I think the Steelers have a much healthier team. It's got better bones. They're a better team. They're going to win by double digits.
Yeah, Baltimore was an absolute no-show in London. I mean, I just couldn't believe they literally couldn't stop Jacksonville. But the Steelers struggled against Chicago, and the Ravens D isn't going to play like that twice in a row. I just don't sense that coming. I don't believe in the Ravens offense, though, so I'm taking the Steelers.
Quick Superman reference. Last week was like bizarro NFL.
It was. It
Like
was
the
backwards day.
Bad teams win. Good teams say goodbye. Bye. Hello.
Patriots win.
Bengals at Browns. And good old Cleveland. One of these days they're going to kick that ball right through those uprights.
That's right.
But the Bengals aren't going to hold it. They're going to snatch it away like Lucy. The Bengals are a better team. They showed that they still have some talent, and in their down to the wire contest with Green Bay. Both of you guys seem to be looking at me like, "What's this moron saying?"
Oh,
But
no,
I'm taking the Bengals regardless of what these two
I
say.
would never call you a moron when you're in the
I just have a hunch, Browns. Just a hunch.
Well, it's the battle for Ohio. Who wins? Nobody. The only reason the Hall of Fame is in Cleveland is because they have to have the Browns. Okay? Otherwise, there'd be nothing to do in Cleveland.
Let's go look at 1942.
Exactly. The Bengals, a much better club. Browns are the Browns.
I'm telling you.
The Browns are going to be the Browns, and no offense to your wonderful last name, sir.
None taken.
This is
The
my
Browns
Bills pick.
the Browns are equated with the color of what's brown for a reason. That's why they're called the Browns, because they are always shitty.
Oh, believe me, I've heard that in
I know.
about
That's-
6th grade.
Yes.
Keep up the pace.
What's the color of shit?
Well,
Brown.
not about you. I'm talking about football.
I know, but they were talking about me.
You're more of a guy with corn and
Rams.
Oh,
At
Cowboys.
Cowboys. DeMarcus Lawrence took Carson Palmer's skin off and wore it. He freaking demoralized the entire. That was one of the more impressive. Yes, it's a Buffalo Bill reference.
I was going to
from-
say,
Puts the
Cyrus
lotion in
Upside
the
Down.
basket. Oh, you're ruining my later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ah,
Oh.
Sure, great for
Never
fun.
Jared-
worked with improv.
Goff needs to put the lotion on it, or it gets the hose.
When the crew is too smart for the show, we just kill each other's references.
I'm taking DeMarcus Lawrence and the Cowboys to be able to run it against a surprisingly effective Rams team, 2-1 Rams team. Jared Goff playing much better than last year, but I believe the Cowboys at home, and I do believe that their offensive line is going to rally a little bit. They're starting to get some heat, and I
got
think
that sense. Yeah.
It's going to be tough because you got Brockers and Donald, and those are not easy defensive linemen to move out of there. This is a much better game than I would have thought before the season started. If you looked at this week and said, oh, the Cowboys are going to kill them, it's way more a competitive game than I would have thought, but I am taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, but the Rams gave up, 39, 38 points to the San Francisco 49ers?
They did.
That's a scary thing. The Cowboys are a much more talented team than the San Francisco 49ers. However, I'm not sold that they've got their mojo back here. And while I would like to take the Rams here, doubt creeps in that they can blow the game. I'm taking the Cowboys.
Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be the best game of the week, and it's going to come down to the last guy holding the ball.
That's
I
not
think
what my notes say.
But your notes don't say what my brain thinks. Okay, which is why they're your notes,
Okay.
and not my thoughts.
So I'm the man in the jacket.
I think they're both kind of evolving in their season. I mean, it's what, week 4? They don't know.
Yeah, I
They
really
couldn't
don't
find
know
their
about
ass with 2
anybody,
hands in week
honestly.
4.
Not after week 3. It's
No.
hard. It's hard
The
to judge
Cowboys,
anybody.
are America's team. I didn't vote for them, but I don't think they're there yet. I think they got a good crew. They just need some more seasoning. And the Rams, they still have jet lag because they woke up in Missouri.
Well, the Rams get
fell
10
asleep
days,
in LA.
and the Cowboys get 6. I mean, I still think this goes either way.
All right, well,
It's a close game. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's not. I like the Cowboys in it, but
less than 4 points deciding the game.
Prescott is not looking great this year.
did in the second half yesterday.
Well, yeah, but boy, what a crappy first couple games.
Yeah, they had no offense at the start of that game, and that's when Lawrence kept them in the game.
Yep.
Eagles at Chargers, and I really like what the Eagles are doing this year. I think their defensive line is better than it's been in years. I think they're going to put pressure on Rivers. I think, I don't know if it's the move or what, but the Chargers just seem to have no identity. They have no juice. It doesn't feel like they're going to have a home field advantage here. I like the Eagles to go out on the West Coast and win.
Chargers got to win sometime, right?
No.
I've used that theory before, and it
I know.
doesn't work.
But as I said 2 weeks ago, Phillip Rivers comes off the field after every series looking like an angry, pouting young baby. And I don't know what the hell's going on there. They've got Melvin Gordon to run the ball. He's got some good receivers, and he's still got 942-year-old, Jezebiah, what's his face?
Was it Bullfrog?
Jezebiah. I mean,
Friend
freaking
of
Gates.
mine, though.
Gates is 2,000 years old. It's like Mel Brooks is going out and catching balls. But the Eagles are slowly putting together what looks like a very solid team here. But I just don't think it's enough. I think the Chargers have to win, what is this, their third game at home in a row or some ridiculous thing? I'm taking the Chargers.
Phillip Rivers is the only kind of river I'm going to want to sail down because it just goes nowhere. He's supposed to be good. Every year they're terrible. Even when they're good, they still suck. The Eagles are a force to be reckoned with. The people that pelted Santa with snowballs are going to be happy this year, especially with LeGarrette Blount. Blount forced trauma. He's going to be pushing it up the Chargers' rear into the end zone.
But they haven't had much of a run game this year.
It is weird. The Eagles
just watch.
cannot seem to decide who their running back is, and I just spit. Sorry about that, folks. So they keep rolling Smallwood or whatever his name is out there, and he's not very impressive. Blunt and Sproles would be my combination, but
Sproles, the ageist one.
it's
Is
hard
he fun to watch?
It's hard to explain why sometimes coaches get locked in a guy that just doesn't seem to produce as much as the other guys.
Give him time to develop.
Strange.
Speaking of which, Giants at the Buccaneers, and can the Giants really go 0-4? Well, all around here, we're in New Jersey. All around here, everyone's all upset because Odell Beckham did the whole dog
Peed on
thing.
the lawn.
But I'll tell you, John Randall did it first, and he did it better. YouTube it.
Did he whip it out and
Really?
actually pee?
No, he sacked
Oh.
the quarterback, and he went over and went to him like a dog.
Wow,
Now
I don't know that.
John Randall was a shit talker of epic proportion.
He was fun to watch.
And a Hall of Famer. So, yeah, Odell's being accused of being divisive, but he's only being accused of being divisive because they're 0-3. And they're about to go 0-4. They're on the road. They really don't have an offensive line. They really don't have a linebacking core. They don't have good special teams. They have so many holes. And everyone around here was like putting them in the Super Bowl, and they're just not a good team. So give me Tampa Bay.
Tim?
Knock, knock.
Who's
Who's
there?
there?
Owen.
Owen who?
0-3. Why? Because they have no offense. Why? Because they should install an escalator where Flowers is, because he's just a revolving door. You cannot block somebody when they're already past you. I learned that,
Where'd you
playing
go?
Tecmo Bowl a couple million years ago. They're just terrible, and it's sad. The only good side of this is they're playing the Bucs. Don't forget, the Bucs went 0-26 the day they were created. On the first day, God said, "Let there be Buccaneers," and then He said nothing for 27 games. And screw you, Rob Wood, you shade throwing prick. Your team sucks.
Whoever that is.
Trust me, Robbie Cocktails know who
He doesn't
is.
watch the show. He'll never hear it.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know how to click the
He's
email either.
crafting.
He is crafting. He's crocheting.
Now I'm going to tell him to
He's
watch
crocheting scrotum and balls inside it.
I thought you said he's crafty.
it. No,
Oh,
craft.
no. Oh, no.
He's crafting.
Sorry, Beastie
Making
Boys
candles.
reference.
I
Making
did.
candles and
I don't know
Stu?
white rappers.
No, but I think the Giants are going to lose.
This could be a great day, a great game, or a really bad game. Neither team has established a run. Paul Pierce, and I don't even know who's running.
Orleans Darkwood is what they should go with. That's another example of when the
Former
coaches
Dolphin.
just ignore the guy that's the better player. Sorry.
So this comes down to the passing defense. The Giants' D looked good for 3 quarters and then collapsed. Bucs, meanwhile, they couldn't get anything going here. The Bucs are favored here, and I'm just going with the home team here. I don't think that they're better than the Giants. I just think that they're home and they're going to win.
They're equally worse.
All right.
This season is screwy.
49ers at the Cardinals.
May I start?
Yes, start
I
away.
don't care.
Go. Tim, you want to follow that one up?
If it's possible to care less than this guy, I care less than this guy.
All right, I actually still care. I thought the Cardinals should have won last night. They had a holding penalty on a touchdown that would have put them up 14-0. They missed a field goal at that point. They controlled the first half of that game. They marched up and down the field. Time of possession was ridiculous. Carson Palmer looked very good. He looked
Hey, put up a lot of yards.
and his arm was lively. Like he was ripping that ball. I got to tell you, if you want to name a couple of players that you like that aren't on your team, put Larry Fitzgerald on the top of my non-Viking. I love this guy.
I
list.
love this guy, and I don't even like his conference.
Right, and but I do think that the Cardinals outclassed the 49ers in this one. This is another potential game of the week. We've got Raiders at the Broncos. Stu, why don't you roll?
Both teams fell flat last week, so this is a huge early season game to decide who gets to be right behind the Chiefs. The Broncos D is still very good and might be able to contain Carr and company. And if Simeon keeps the mistakes to 0, I mean 0, and then get Charles Anderson running, I think the Broncos win here.
Tim?
Oh, man. I'm torn because it's tough. The Raiders, didn't they move to Las Vegas? I thought they moved
No,
to
only
Las-
on bowlers.
Oh, all right. I guess I watched too much
don't even
HBO
know
and
what
not
that
enough
is.
electric
It's a show
football.
on HBO.
It's just a toughie. The Donkeys, I hate them because they're the Broncos, and that's what I'm supposed to do because I'm a Pats fan. But the Raiders, I don't know. I expected more from them so far, and they've disappointed me. Who I'm not even a fan, and I'm still disappointed. So I think the Broncos.
Okay.
I'm with the two Broncos picks. Once again, I'm on a theme. Jamal Charles is one of those guys that just doesn't get the kind of respect and carries that he should have. I mean, he was sharing carries with like Thomas Jones back in the day with the
Right.
Chiefs, and it was like he would have like a 7 point per carry average, and they'd be giving Jones 20 carries and him 8.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's a good mix. Like I'm with you. They have to have the running game, and they have a nice little mix with C.J. Anderson, and then the change of pace that Jamal Charles is now later in his career. The Raiders just got shut down. Josh Norman was talking mad junk like Cooper and Crabtree. I don't even know who those guys are. Is that some sort of hand lotion I should be buying for my wife?
Kleenex and Jergens.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about what I use Kleenex and Jergens for.
Oops, wrong show.
Okay. So I am taking the Broncos for the exact same reason Stu did. I like their run game better, and I like their defense a little bit better. The Raiders, when you're talking about disappointment, they really are just a couple of defensive playmakers away from being a very scary team. Hopefully they'll get there because I do enjoy when the old dynasty teams in the 70s are good, and they have perhaps the best logo in the NFL. But I'm going to take the ugly-ass Broncos helmets to win this one.
Okay.
So we got Colts at Seahawks, and, Jacoby Brissett is not going to be able to run for multiple touchdowns and make big plays with his feet against the Seahawks. The Seahawks secondary is good enough to shut down Jack Doyle. Sounds like the guy from 24.
Yeah. You're right, Jack Doyle.
He does.
What was his name? Jack Bauer.
Yeah,
I never watched it.
Private investigator Jack Doyle on the case.
Jack Doyle.
And
I've got a touchdown here.
I spit again.
Hey,
And it's the spitting episode.
Babies.
And
I had my shot.
they're good enough to shut down Doyle and Hilton. I am a believer that the Seahawks are still a good team, even though their offensive line is horrific, and that they have enough talent, and that the Colts do not have enough talent on the defensive front seven to take advantage of that deficiency in the offensive line. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Oh, boy. As much as I hate to root for Blue Horseshoe, Jacoby Brissett's like one of my kids.
These Patriots fans, it's just they root for Patriots.
I know.
They're Patriots.
I know. Even when the
Even
Why
when
don't
they
you root for the
suck.
Dolphins? Half my team went to your team.
Even when they leave the fold, are you a Chandler Jones guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit. I mean, I appreciate the contributions they made. We wouldn't have had last year without Brissett.
Okay.
I
like the
mean, it's a
loyalty.
fact. And I think he's a better quarterback than the guy in Seattle right now. Because the guy in Seattle right now, I think he's got a
Time out. Did you just say you think Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson?
Right now, yes, I do.
Comments?
For the next,
Please, in the comment section.
Next 168 hours, yes, I do.
Okay.
For the next week, I do.
Okay.
Do I think he is overall? No, because he hasn't as much time in, as the guy from the Seahawks over here. But what I'm saying is right now he's a better guy, in the pocket.
Well, he trained under the best. Let's face it. He trained under the best. I think the Colts suck. Absolutely suck. But I think the Seahawks absolutely suck as well. And you know what? The Seahawks don't have a running game. If the Colts just force the pass and can keep Wilson from getting to the corners, this is my upset of the week. I'm going to go with those Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, what happened to what was supposed to be a decent Seattle running game? It's in the witness protection program.
They're horrible. They're horrible.
Washington at Kansas City, or as we like to say, Native American fight. Thank you. Really comes down to can Josh Norman and company repeat their shutdown performances, and can Washington run the ball effectively, which they've done well this year. But I keep looking at Kansas City, the other 3-0 team, and I think they've been the most impressive team through the first 3 weeks of the year. I think if you look at them on offense, team speed-wise, in all the skill positions, including Alex Smith, I think they may have the most team speed.
I can't argue that right now.
And speed kills. So I like Hill, I like Kelsey, I like Kareem Hunt to be able to work against the Washington secondary. And I like Kansas City to go 4-0.
You know what play nobody's figured out against them, and they run it all the time now? Is that little shovel pass right up the middle. It's either the tight end or the running back. Nobody's figuring that out. I like
the hole. They go through the hole. Right through he sticks it right in his hole.
I like
it's a high percentage hole sticking.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs now.
It works.
They remind me of the '60s Chiefs. I don't know why. to me, they're old school in it. I wish people wouldn't call in during a live show. Jesus
we don't take
Christ.
calls on this show, do we?
But do you know that the Skins are like the most balanced team in the NFL right now? Running and passing wise, they seem to have the most balance on their team. I'm not saying defense. I'm just saying on offense here. But the Chiefs have been looking, like the old 60s team here. They're running hard. They get the big plays at the right moments. And
matriculating the ball down the
yeah,
field.
And enough defense to win. Cousins, meanwhile, lit up the Raiders because their run game is average. So Washington's going to throw the ball a lot. I still think the big red Chiefs here, not by a lot, but it's going to be one of those last-minute Tyreek Hill or Kareem Hunt runs and catches that's going to win this game. I think it's a 3 or 4 point game on a last drive.
I think it's going to be a very close game as well. I think it's going to turn over the ball on a defensive play for a touchdown
Could
win.
be. The Chiefs made a living on that over the last couple of years.
The Chiefs good, Skins good. They're both good teams. The Chiefs surprised the crap out of me week 1 when they beat my beloved Patriots.
They surprised the crap out of everybody.
And I'm really proud of them for that because it takes a lot, I think they're on a roll, and I think you don't want to get in front of them. And I think the Redskins are going to just have to, pack up the teepees and just get the fuck out of town.
And by the way, for this game, make a reservation for Monday night. Oh, Chiefs, Redskins.
That was the last joke of the show.
Oh, God.
That is the last
31
joke of the
minutes
show.
of nonsense. See you
That's
next
Olympic
week.
Football. Bye, guys.
Bye.